Our final artist that will be sharing their story has performed at our Vibrant Brampton festival. Ramya Ram can sing in English, French, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Hindi, Punjabi, Gujarati, Marathi, Spanish, and Italian. She has been singing since the age of 2 and started training under her mother, Shamala Ramchandran, at the age of 4. She has performed Bharatanatyam Cine music and Carnatic music across Canada, US, India, Australia, and New Zealand. Ramya's journey started when she first saw her mother perform live.
It started off with my mom because she's a professional performer. So she does a lot of Bollywood shows and she's quite well known in the community, and that's how I was brought up. Like, I used to go to her concerts and just watch her on stage perform, and I was like, I want to do that. So that's what I started doing. And it kind of took off from there. And so I started with my mom, and she was my first guru or teacher. And I've learned Carnatic from her, and right now I'm learning from Delhi Kumar sir, who's in India. I dabbled with Hindustani quite recently, but I'm trying to find like a good teacher right now. But yeah, so it started off when I was around 4, and that's when I started Carnatic music, and then I traveled till now, and that's now I'm just doing recording and productions, and as well as like performances, and I'm trying to get into playback now. So
Once she started getting into it, Ramya's influences grew, which helped her craft her own unique style.
in terms of playback, I've always looked up to Shreya Ghoshal ma'am because her versatility and her voice, it's just so clean and so sweet, and she can take any genre or any language, which is quite hard, and I like experimenting with languages as well, so she's been a really huge inspiration for me. As well as Arjit Singh, because of, again, his versatility and the amount of things he can do with his voice is just outstanding. So I look up to them a lot in terms of technicality and the amount of languages that they're able to hold. Because it's really hard to sound when you're a Hindi speaker and you try to sing Tamil or Malayalam, then like it's really hard to get that pronunciation and that accent to sound exactly like them. So I find that like both Arjit Singh and Shreya Ghoshal ma'am have done such a beautiful job in that. So I look up to them in that aspect.
Starting to gain momentum, Ramya felt unsure during the start of the pandemic. She didn't know what was next. After coming to grips with the situation, she was able to turn a negative into a positive.
It has been both positive and negative in terms of like performance-wise. Obviously it's been a bit negative because we haven't gotten to do live performances, and as an artist we get our energy and our inspiration from our audience, and so that was, I think, one of the downfalls of quarantine, just because we couldn't do any live performances other than online. But online you're singing to the screen, so you're not really having much of an interaction other than the comments that come in. But I think one of the positives was that I was able to improve on my my technique, and I had time to reflect and I guess like put out more content because we had so much time on our hands. So I think that was one of the benefits of quarantine, because we were just sitting at home, and instead of watching TV, I tried to do more music and collaborate with different artists, and I love doing a cappella stuff, so I started posting a lot of covers during quarantine of a cappella covers and stuff like that. So it was both positive and negative, but mostly positive.
Along with this experience came a lot of learning.
I've learned that I can actually dabble at a lot more styles than I thought I could, and render or take more languages than I thought I could. So before quarantine, I think I was fixed on only doing melodies and only doing Tamil and Hindi. Tamil, I'm a Tamil speaker, so I only focused on those two languages. But during quarantine, I feel like I learned that I was able to handled different styles even better than melody, which was kind of surprising for me. But that was one thing that I learned about myself, that maybe I was underestimating myself and that I was able to do a lot more than I thought I could.
For 2022, Ramya sees this year as an opportunity to get better at her craft while prioritizing her health.
Definitely put out more content, because I know that I'm taking a lot of break in between my covers, because I feel like maybe people are getting sick of my voice, but maybe that's not the case, and I should keep posting covers because that's how I'll get noticed by the industry professionals. So yeah, I think that's one of my goals, but it's also to care more about myself regardless of music. Like, this is aside from music, but in general, take care of myself like health-wise as a vocalist and normally, because I feel like, you know, in quarantine, like, you're just sitting on the TV and eating chocolate and you're not really doing much for yourself. So I feel like staying on top of things is one goal that I would set for myself, plus you know, keeping fit and keeping healthy and taking proper vitamins. And yeah, I think music is also a thing that will help me with my health. So doing more of that would definitely be a goal for me for 2022.
And if Ramya was to put her work in a time capsule and someone discovered her work 50 years from now, here's what she would want them to feel.
The growth that I've had, even within the short span that I've posted covers, the amount of improvement that one sees is actually an inspiration for a lot of people, because I know that when I see how I was before and how I see how I am now, so in that time capsule, when I cover even a span of like a few months, I want them to see how much I've grown as a musician and how much I've learned in that process, and I feel like they would be able to apply it for themselves. So I think that would be the biggest takeaway that I would want them to have from my time.